Tyler?
I just want to thank the grace of heavens, virtues of the grandmaster, predecessors. I got the Tao ceremony back when I was much younger and had much less understanding of like the spiritual world and whatnot. But I think after having received the Tao, it kind of put things into perspective for me. Things that were not explained by science. And they were like questions I had as a child that I really didn't understand why certain things occurred. And so my mom having introduced this sort of like temple concept and the idea of Tao and how there are higher beings that exist around us and within us, it puts my mind at ease, knowing that there's a higher purpose for us being here on Earth. But it also gave me validity that certain concepts I believed in are actually true. Things like karma, which I strongly believed in as a child, even though I didn't believe in, per se, God or spiritual beings at the time. I thought perhaps maybe there were some spiritual beings, but I think being in the temple and surrounded by those who strongly believe in the Tao and seeing transmission ceremonies and when the spirits like borrow I don't know the term, but like when they borrow the body of a Santai. Yeah, I think having that experience really opened my eyes into saying like that there are things that we can't see and that actually exist within us. And for me, I think that was really powerful as a young adult who was trying to understand Tao and like the spiritual world. I know that some people don't believe it, and after seeing it, I think some people can still be skeptical. But for me, I guess it was kind of an eye-opening experience. And I think since then, being around the temple, the Tao has put my heart at ease, and I think I owe it to Tao for getting me through my medical education. I think my parents prayed or like kosoed every day about me getting to school, and I myself, like during like my PA school, like I would always, and I still do today, but in the mornings I would koso and wish well upon myself and for those around me. So I think a lot of it is like from the blessings of the spirits kind of guiding me. So I think as a young adult, I don't know what the future entails, but I hope to be more involved at some point with the Tao. I think there are certain responsibilities that I'm perhaps not ready to take on. But I strongly am thankful that I've had this experience thus far. Just because I think it gives me sort of like a safety of mind almost, that after what we do in life, there's a higher goal, and it's not just like having a family or getting a good education and like earning a lot of being like financially well off and being super successful or like making a ton of friends. Like I think there's a higher purpose to help those around us and for us to go back to like heaven. So, yeah, I hope that I can one day bring some people and get like a Dao transmission for them, like a 渡人家, hopefully. But I think it's been a challenge for me that I'm not really sure eventually how I will tackle this issue. But yeah, those are my thoughts and my experience with Dao. Thank you.
How old are you? Are you in New York?
Yeah, I'm in New York. I'm 26.
Wow. Okay, that's beautiful age. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Once follow your mother's steps, parents' steps. Yeah, you're gonna be successful. Yeah. Once we apply Tao to our daily life, our life will be totally different from normal lives. So because we know the meaning of lives, true meaning of lives, and you know what to do every day, and then we will be much happier. Yeah, and have much more peace inside. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so next member it will be Jevon.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Chan. I'm 13-year-old. I want to thank the grace of heaven for the chance to speak with everyone here. I was born in Manhattan, New York. When I was 3 months old, I went to China after my sister so that my grandparents can take care of us while my parents work. When I was 3 years old, me and my sister went back to the United States. On the first day there, my dad and my mom took us to the temple where we received Dao in March of 2010. After we got the Dao, I didn't know much, so I would follow along with our parent whenever we went to temple. In the temple, my sister and I, being young, would play with the other kids. At home, my mom taught me Di Zigui and Bai Xiaojing until we learned some Chinese. In the start of 2008, my parents went to Houston with us, and me and my sister learned a lot of Chinese that year. And especially during the summer, we will learn to recite half of the Analect, and in the winter time, recite more than half of Lao Tzu. Because of this, me and my sister memory improved very much. My parents then started Chinese class on every weekend with me and my older sister and some other people there to learn Chinese. Whenever there is in school, and we will learn Chinese every day with some other people. And every day our parents tell us why it's necessary to learn Chinese. At the same time, I learned how to do everything within the temple and clean the temple properly. Because of COVID-19, we continue learning Chinese online. I want to thank this online Dao study class since it gave me a much better understanding and knowledge of Dao. Learning about the meaning of my Trivial Sutra gave me a better understanding of it since I had to recite it every day. Because of COVID-19, a lot of people lost their normal life, job, and some even their life. So I think we should value every day, and I'm very thankful that we could still learn at home. I'm grateful to be able to learn this much about Dao. I think it will help me in my future to improve myself. I want to thank the grace of heaven and Lecture Tai and everyone here to have the opportunity to speak here. Thank you very much.
Great, you're so young. That's nice.
Thank you, Jevon, for sharing. Anybody from 弥勒宝堂want to share?
I can share one story.
Yeah, okay. We try to finish by 9:30 New York time, so we want to do that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So this is actually related to last week when we talked about. Let's see. Last week there was a line. Oh yeah. Whoops. Where was it? Basically, okay. So like. Well, it's kind of related to this, I guess, that first line there. That basically, where to start, celestial divine beings, they descend to this world. Okay, so basically, my story, yeah, this is kind of, it's kind of odd for me to talk about it, but, okay, so after college, I, went to California to work, and I haven't really been into Tao much. I mean, even when I was still in New York or New Jersey, I don't really recall going much. I mean, we had a family temple, but I don't recall going to the temple we had here in New York, where we had classes, things like that. So I wasn't involved in any of that. But anyway, so I went to California and would start working. But I, in the back of my mind, I was always, I don't know, I still had this interest in Tao, though. And I think maybe, so I went to California in 1984, but maybe, I don't know how many years later, a few, between that time and 1990, I guess, maybe, I started having some weird, in the back, in my mind, I felt like I didn't belong here. Okay. I didn't belong in this world. Okay. So felt like, I had some other, that was one feeling, is that, I didn't feel like I belonged here, or that I am here to observe the world, observe the human condition. And then, and later on, I kind of felt that, I had some other purpose here. Okay. So, now, I've been through a lot of ups and downs emotionally in life and all that during that time. Eventually I got, in 1990, that actually, up until then, I had not, I received a Tao when I was a baby. Okay. So, and that's back in 1963, but I had not attended a Dharma class up to that point. And so in 1990, for some reason, I think our whole family went to Taiwan. And so I went also. And that's when I attended my first Dharma class. And it was at the Fa Yi Cong De, is in Taichung, I think. And it was the only thing I remember from that Dharma class, like a 3-day Dharma class. And, I didn't remember one word, or probably couldn't understand any of the classes. It was all in Chinese. But I did remember the channeling I think there were two channeling. One was Guanyin Bodhisattva, Guanyin Buddha, and along with, I think there was the little angels that accompanied Guanyin Buddha, and then also a holy teacher. So now, okay, but anyways, the story that I'm talking about. Okay, so this feeling, or this sense that I didn't really, I don't know, I felt that I was like an outsider, to this world. Okay. And that kept building up over the years, since then. And it's like, so through the 90s, it was kind of gnawing, you can kind of say, it's like this gnawing at me inside. And, it's like this uncertainty. Although I was kind of, I felt pretty sure that, this had to be the way it was, that I didn't really, that I didn't seem to belong here. I didn't want to be here. But anyways, and then, so finally, I think in 1990, it's either 1998 or 1999, over the years, then I did occasionally, I lived near San Francisco, but then I had some relatives in near LA, and they had temples there, so occasionally they would invite me to go down to attend a Dharma class or whatever, some class that they had down there. So occasionally I would just drive down there, attend those classes. And so this one class, I think it was, I forget exactly, it was either 1998 or 1999. I went down there, and it was just like it's like a staff class or something like that. But it was a 1-day class, and they had the 3 talent there, and so there was a channeling. Now, whenever there was channeling in the classes that I've been to, I was always kind of afraid. I don't know. I was afraid to have the Buddhas talk to me. And so in this one instance, the Buddha who channeled was a child Buddha. Okay, so the golden child, I guess you can translate directly. It's a golden child, a Jingtong. Okay, so but this is, basically in the past, there are many, you can say, children, I guess, that they received Tao, and because of, maybe they've cultivated in previous lifetimes, but in that particular lifetime, and they're, because as a child they're pure, and maybe that's all they're waiting for is to receive the Tao, and then they return to heaven. Okay, so that's what a lot of these Jingtong or Shentong, the immortal children in heaven are. Okay, see, when we receive the Tao and we attain the Tao, we basically, you can say, kind of keep that form, if you will, that we were, so like if we were very, like a baby, or a child, then we would still be like a child in heaven. Okay, so if we're older and then we attain the Tao, then we'll be like the older person. But anyway, so this golden child Buddha channeled, and so there's one that's next to the, that I guess kind of accompanies like Guanyin Buddha. Okay, so this Buddha, channeled and started and was talking to some of the class members, and was walking back and forth, and I'm sitting in the back row. I have also a cousin sitting in the back row with me, and then there's another person sitting in between us. And then finally, so I guess the Buddha also talked to that person sitting next to us. He's an American, but anyways, finally, the tension. I mean, I was getting very anxious every time the Buddha walked to the back of the room, and so finally walked to the back of the room again, and then started talking to me. And then it's like, oh my God. So then, the Buddha said, basically confirmed kind of what I was feeling. And, it's like this thing that was troubling me all these years, say that, so this is quite a revelation. I mean, for most people, it would be quite a revelation. To me, it was kind of confirmation of kind of what I knew. Is just like 99%. I just needed a confirmation that, okay, so what he said was, we played together in heaven. Okay, so I assumed that meant that I was also one of these child, Shentong, whatever, I don't know, and that, you chose to come to this world to be born in that particular family, this Tao cultivating family, and to, but, so obviously, I made a vow, and it says, don't forget your vow. Okay, so now, unfortunately, he didn't tell me what my vow was, but I assumed it's obviously, what we all talk about here. It's like, to help with this white era mission, the universal salvation mission. And so after that, so that you can say it came as a relief to me to hear that, even though I was afraid to kind of hear that initially, but it came as a relief to me to realize finally this puzzle, the final piece of the puzzle was put in place, I guess, completed the puzzle, and then I can move on. And then so it's interesting. After that, I started. I kind of knew what my mission was. It's like to basically to teach, I guess, the Dharma, to spread the Dharma. And so I started, so that's what I started doing, actually. So I was still working. It was interesting that I would wake up like 5 a.m. I mean, I normally wake up late, but like around maybe 5 a.m, I would get this rush of I don't know how to describe it. It's like this rush of like, I don't know, knowledge, just ideas into my head, and then that would wake me up, and then it's like, and then I would get up and then start writing, And so I wrote, a bunch of things about different various topics, that I shared with my friends and, some people I knew, over email. So I did that for a few years. And then finally I came back to New York, in 2002. So 2001 I visited once, and basically, we have kind of like a tradition at the temple where, they do for Chinese New Year, they have the red envelopes, right? And so they create these red envelopes with basically some sayings in there. So it's not money, okay, but some sayings, okay, words. And so, they say it's whatever the one you pick, is appropriate for you. Okay, so I picked one, and I don't have it in front of me here, but basically, it said that I would be, it's like 开导众生. Okay, so basically to enlighten or guide, sentient beings towards the enlightenment or the enlightened way, whatever. So then, I said, wow, this is exactly what I thought my mission was. And so, that was, you can say that was like a further confirmation of, what I thought, that my mission is. And I think the following year I also picked another red envelope that was kind of similar. So then I knew that, that this is it, So anyways, this is, not everyone gets told by Buddha that says, oh yeah, you're from heaven and, you're here on a mission. Doesn't mean that you're not, okay, if the Buddhas don't tell you. I think the reason why, the Buddhas, they talk to us and they say things to us depending on our affinity, depending on the timing of things. And so it happened to be, I guess, the right time for me to hear that, because that's something that was bothering me for so many years. And as finally, I guess it was ripe, the timing was ripe for me to hear that, and so that I can continue and move on and I guess go forward with my mission. But don't be disappointed if, Buddhas don't tell you, oh, you're, you're here on a mission. You made a vow to come to this world, whatever. We have to discover that ourselves. So basically, I had discovered that already, and I just got that confirmation. But, so we have to kind of realize it, discover it ourselves, okay? And then realize it and put it into practice and do it, execute it, carry it out. Otherwise, we kind of waste our time. So that's why I just want, encourage people to, I always say that Tao, cultivation of Tao, it's a journey of self-discovery. That's one of the things, discovering our true self. What is our real purpose? What is our real mission here? Now, everyone could have a slightly different mission. But, the ultimate goal, the ultimate is for us to return back to heaven. And before we do that, though, we do our best to cultivate and to help others also return back to heaven. Okay. So, I guess that's basically, that one story. I have other stories, but, so I think that's probably good enough for now.
That's a good story. Yeah. Now, like the lecture titles talk about it. The Buddha always, Holy Qigong keep remind all of us. I remember last staff member class, remind all of us, we are the Buddha today, we are the Buddha in the past, we are the Buddha in the future. We also make a big vows when we were in heaven. So that's why we came down to this world. So we need to fulfill our vows to go back to our original positions. Like lecture Tai's mother, I think she is in the heaven, because when she came down to visit us in 2004.
2004.
Yeah, 2004. That's why Holy Teacher wrote a song for her and say she went back to her original positions, become the 净化 saint. So we all have a big mission here and duty here. We need to fulfill our vow. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, actually I want to mention one other thing that about, the Buddhas, they're also very careful. I mean, for most people, maybe, I don't know, but for a lot of people, if they hear that and they know, say, oh, I'm a Buddha reborn or whatever, unfortunately, they might get attached to that. And it's really not, actually what's in the past, what we were before, is not so much so as important as what we are now, what we do now. And so people, they might hear that and say, oh, then they're going to be stuck on the past. And they think, oh yeah, I'm a Buddha, so you have to treat me like one, whatever. And so it goes to their ego. And that could be a problem. And so I think Buddhas, normally when they channel, they're not going to tell people that because they probably they won't be able to deal with it in the proper way. And so maybe it's, for most people, it's better not to, that the Buddha that they don't tell you. And so, because right now, it's what's most important is how we conduct ourselves, how we cultivate now, right? And that's really what matters. And it's like this, at the end of this, well, not the end, but in this white era, at that Longhua assembly, basically, how we get our peerage is going to depend on what we do in this white era right now. Okay, it doesn't matter like how we cultivate in the past lives. It's all basically down to this life right now. So we have to do our best in this life, and don't kind of rest on our laurels of past lives cultivation, because then it'll all be for naught if we don't cultivate in this life. All right. So this is the life really that matters right now. We have to do our best right now.
Yeah.